that the submission shall be made to this committee, including all documents and annexures, are factual, genuine, and reliable. So help me God. Please consider, sir.
We have before us Nigeria Customs Service, Abuja, and the audit issues raised on Nigerian Customs Service is on page 418 of the Auditor General's report for the year 2019. Issue number 1. On the remittance of revenue into the Federation account for the year 2017, amounting to 62,242,980,006 naira 87 kobo. Section 82, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, states in part, and I quote, "The Federation shall maintain a special account called the Federation account, into which shall be paid all revenues collected by the government of the Federation." End of quote. Audit was presented with 2 separate reports, namely Nigerian Customs Service Summary of Monthly Revenue Collection 2017 and Nigerian Customs Service Collections and Remittance into Federation Account 2017. Audit observed that 1. In the report of Nigeria Customs Service Summary of Monthly Revenue Collection 2017, total collections for Federation account were 691,266,115,031 naira 44 kobo. 2. However, the report of NCSC collection and remittance into Federation account 2017 show actual remittance into Federation account with the CBN for the year under review to be 629,23,135,024 naira 57 kobo. And 3. A comparison of these 2 documents reveal an under remittance of 62,242,980,006 naira 86 kobo. 4. There was no footnote or any form of additional information attached to the 2 reports showing the reasons for the discrepancy. Neither was any form of communication of management's intention for future reconciliation or remittance. The above anomalies could be attributed to weaknesses in the internal control system at the Nigerian Customs Service Headquarters, Abuja. Risk: loss of government revenue, increase in government borrowing to finance its budget, diversion of public funds. Management response: there was no response from management. Recommendation of the Auditor General: the Comptroller General is requested to 1. Account for the unremitted sum of 62,242,980,006 naira 87 kobo. 2. Remit the sum of 62,242,980,006 naira 87 kobo to the Federation account, forwarding evidence of remittance to the Public Accounts Committees of the National Assembly. Otherwise, apply sanction relating to failure to collect and account for government revenue in paragraph 3112 of the Financial Regulations. That is the first issue, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished chairman. Good afternoon, distinguished members of Senate Public Account Committee. Once again, my name is E.A. Sen, the Deputy Controller Revenue. Mr. Chairman, please, I wish your indulgence to grant me the permission before I address issue 1 that has to do with under remittance of revenue into Federation account for the year 2017 to the tune of 62.2 billion. I would like to state some salient facts that might have led to this conception that this sum was not remitted. The revenue that is remitted by Nigerian Custom into Federation account consists of the import duty, excise, CET, and fees. Now, under the CET levies, if you can see from our response on table 1, you see that we have 9 Federation account levies, which is classified by the Office of the Accountant General. They are CET, and if you look at it, we have indicated the way they are remitted into. We have the CET, which is remitted into Federation account. The wheat flour levy, wheat grain levy, brown rice, rice levy, textile levy, overdue cargo levy, wine levy, cigarette levy. All these are Federation account levies, but they are not remitted into Federation account by the Office of Accountant General. May I make this known that it is not the responsibility of the Nigerian Customs Service to determine where these revenues are remitted to, whether they are remitted for sharing in fact. Our responsibility is to collect this money and it goes into the appropriate account. So as we have stated here, only one out of these 9 Federation account levies is remitted into Federation account for sharing. That's why I put in the note. Not CET is remitted into Federation account by the OAGF, while others that are active are remitted into the non-Federation account. So this other 8 Federation account levies is being remitted into the non-Federation account, and which is not the responsibility of Nigerian Customs Service. If you look at the table number 2, we have the NCS collection and remittances for 2017 into the Federation account. If you look at the table, you see the subhead there that is remitted into the Federation account. We have import duty. The collection there for import duty for 2017 was 558,212,691 naira 56 kobo. And if you look at the remittance, we have the remittance of 53.788 billion, which gives you, if you compare that, there is an over remittance. If you look at excise of 42.52 billion, 45.23 billion. What was remitted was 45.812 billion, which still translates to an over remittance. Fees, 1.750 billion, and the remittance was 2.062 billion, which is still an over remittance. CET levies, 47.312 billion, and what was remitted was 47.359 billion, which is over remittance. The total collection for that period in question was 627.852 billion. And if you compare that to what was remitted, which is 629.023, you'll notice that for that period in question, there was an over remittance. There was nothing like under remittance. If you check the difference between what was collected and what was remitted, you see that the service remitted over 1.17 billion for that year in question. I put here that the summary of the revenue collection. This can be seen in Appendix A and Appendix B. This Appendix A and Appendix B is the appendix for the collection and remittances that we have. Appendix A.
Appendix A is on page 1.
That's what I want to bring out. On my own here, because I really need to make my own very, very clear and transparent. It is on page 7. Let me. Okay, that can be seen in appendix page 10 of the big volume. If you are using the big volume, if you are using this big volume, yes, that's page 10. If you are using this big volume, it's page 10. While I'm using the small one, but I compare.
Quickly and explain why the
Okay. Okay, sir. So,
are you done?
yes, sir. Page, if you see page 7, that page 10 shows the collection, and page 11 shows the remittances to central bank. And that's the central bank statement, which is signed by the central bank to confirm the figure that we have put down here.
Why should I do that? Why should I do that?
Okay, sir. One of the reasons I can give, one of the reasons for the over remittance that you may see is because sometimes one of them is human error. For example, somebody may want to key in 50,000 and in the process can add 2 or 3 figures, and the system automatically would send that to the bank account. There's nothing anyone can do. What will happen is that at the end of the day, the bank will now request for the refunds of that money, which we would proceed. Secondly, some of the things that constitute this is that in the process of remitting, each of the tax head has a particular code that transfers this money. In a situation where a bank picks a wrong code, that code is going to automatically carry that money to an account that is not. What I'm saying here is that you may have maybe a non-federation account, which is some of the things that we have been seeing. And in the process of picking the non-federation account, the banker picks a wrong code, which the money is supposed to go into non-federation account, and it goes into federation account. That is one of the reasons that you may see an over remittance. The third reason why you can also witness over remittance is at the cutoff point. There's what we have. Remittance is T+1, while collection is real time. What it means is that by the time an excise trader or an importer goes to the bank to pay this money, the bank will operate till about 5-6. The central bank on each day and on each month and at the end of the year closes roll off by 4. By the time they have rolled off by 4, banks are still collecting. So what you will have the following day would be what was collected later in the day that it was transmitted. So definitely there will always be these discrepancies of over and under remittance, which calls for continuous reconciliation and also bank requesting for refunds where those errors are there. Thank you very much, sir.
All those contributions. CG Customs. You've heard all our colleagues said. Your efforts will ultimately be appreciated better when and if the effort or efforts are complemented by or with the needful. If you generate $1 billion or $1 billion naira for Nigeria in 1 minute, and at the end of the day, that 1 billion naira does not go into the coffers of government, your efforts may at the end of the day be in abeyance. And whatever is in abeyance, recognition becomes difficult. Whatever you do not recognize, you cannot appreciate. So, to me and for me, I'm not an accountant. And I'm not a collection officer. But I'm a chartered politician.
And horse rider.
I find it very ridiculous. Well, yes, you supported me and aided me. You gave me the codes. I mean, you send your child to a neighboring house to go and support them with salt, Maggi, tomato, and onions. And at the end of the day, the head of that neighboring house came to thank you. And from his words of appreciation of your gesture, only confirmed the receipt of onion. Won't the onus be on you to want to know from your child, what about tomato? What about Maggi? What about the salt that you were given? So if what you generated was only clearly by record known to you to have only been what was only remitted to Federation account is CET, isn't it, well, wouldn't it be your responsibility to want to know where wheat flour levy went to, where wheat grain levy went to, where brown rice levy went to, rice levy, textile levy, overdue cargo levy, wine levy, cigarette levy? Why would you generate for the country out of your compliance, enforcement and compliance? Because without enforcement and ensuring compliance, you wouldn't have generated this. You generated money for Nigeria and Nigerians, and there you are seeing only one item remitted to Federation account, and you did not ask, and you are still not asking, so that you tell the committee, as in your presentation, yes, we generated as much as we generated, but only CET was remitted to Federation account. That's why you are seeing on the remittance. So, but items A, B, C, D, E, F, we all collected and forwarded to the office of the Accountant General of the Federation, but it did not reflect in the Federation account. But they are in so account.
That's my question.
That would have made it much clearer. So I don't know, with the support of our colleagues, I will want to, because of lack of time, issues 1 to 10 are all related.
Yes.
So instead of us to treat issues 1, 2, maybe highest 3 issues today, then you go next week or 2 weeks, we want you back. The CG will not be available. He is there. I will want to give you, to suspend this and just say to Nigerian Customs, go back to the drawing board as suggested. The office of the auditor, yeah, so issues 1 to 4, we will want Customs, Nigerian Customs, to reconcile with Accountant General of the Federation, possibly, if need be, in one or all the cases, as may be determined by, during the exercise of reconciliation. You could as well, if need be, liaise with the office of the Auditor General for the Federation. And this, we will expect you to come back to us with clean, clear records. We need to know this sub heads where the funds went to. So in your reconciliation, please come back with that report, because if this had happened in 2017, so that means all subsequent years, it's still happening, and that will be so much, particularly as the distinguished deputy chairman of the committee said, this period that Nigeria needs every kobo to finance our budget, that and as a system we have deficit in virtually everything, deficit in infrastructure, deficit in education, deficit in this, and then Nigerian customs is high up there. We always look up to the moment the revenue generation is mentioned, whether or not your gray colored uniform is there or not. Of course, custom crosses your mind. And so far, you are doing well. But if you do as much well as you do, and then you allow some people to jeopardize your efforts, because if you generate the much you generate, and then not all is reflected in the books, you are always called upon to be asked questions that you have difficulty in answering. But even if you answer, some areas may not make the needed sense. That is dwarfing your efforts, and that shouldn't be. So we give, with the understanding of the committee, today is
give them 2 weeks.
2 weeks to reconcile issues 1 to 4, because those are the ones that will have to do with the office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and possibly, if need be, the office of the Auditor General for the Federation as well. So after 2 weeks, 2 weeks will be what date, Clark? Today is 20.
That will be 14th.
Yeah.
8th March. Let's give them clear 14 days. Clear 14 days will be 14 days. 14th. Clear 14 days outside today. No, that's clear 14 days.
Today will be what?
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow will be.
That will be 13th March.
Yeah.
Yes. Clear 14 days.
13th March will not be Saturday. It is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, as far as the hearing of today is concerned,